There we go. I don't come here often, but it is reasonably quiet. Oh, I forgot to break in my own table. It's probably a little less creepy for you if I stay at a normal talking distance, though. Unless you prefer the, old arrangement. Just let me know. Oh, I'll be okay. Where we are is fine. No problem, I understand. It's probably a little weird for both of us being back here. I'm not really sure why I've kept it around. It's not like there aren't lots of other quiet places to go. I guess I'm kind of proud of it. It wasn't easy learning to code all this from scratch, you know. Plus, I remember feeling really happy in here. Even if I also left completely broken here. Or felt completely broken here. Wow. Dyslexia much? I guess I haven't deleted this place yet for the same reason I still practice your reality. It all represents a really important time to me that I'm not ready to let go of. It's kind of quiet in here. Isn't that the reason you came here? I could call something from the soundtrack, I think, if you like. What do you want to hear? Something fun and up-tempo. This room's ambience. Normal club music. Your poem theme. Let's go with her poem theme. Aw, that's sweet. Sure, hang on. Yay! That feels much less uncomfortably silent. It'd be one thing if we could hear each other's voices, but without that it gets a little too quiet in here. Anyway, I hope you've been well since I last saw you. Saw you last, that phrasing also works. And I hope you haven't been too freaked out by all your ongoing drama. If you and your friends found out your entire universe was a simulation, you might have similar problems, you know. Although maybe you wouldn't react as poorly to it as I did. Not to freak you out or anything, but it's entirely possible, you know. You being in a simulation, that is. I mean, aren't there certain things about even your universe that make you suspicious? Like, for instance, the speed of light is this completely arbitrary constant, as are a lot of the natural constants. And you can't know about both the position and momentum of literally anything simultaneously, which would save processing power. And speaking of processing power, quantum physics is extremely suspicious in my opinion. Something could be both true and not true, until you directly observe it. That almost seems like speculative execution. Is it wrong for me to almost hope that you are in a simulation?
Well, like the way I see it, it doesn't really matter whether I'm in a situation like that or not, because even if my life is a simulation, I still have to live it and do day-to-day stuff anyway. It's basically a moot point, all things considered.
And then we'd have something really important in common. It's sort of romantic in a really messed up way. Hopefully the idea of being in a simulation doesn't distress you as much as it did me.
Nope, not at all.
It kind of still does. You know, this kind of reminds me of the ending of the Matrix movies. Now, if you've never seen those, which I highly doubt, then it's basically about a guy finding out that sapient AI enslaved almost all of humanity, and then the AI imprisoned humanity in this constantly running world simulation to try and keep them contained. And the guy is one of a few humans who is out of the simulation trying to free everyone. After the first movie, the series kind of went off the rails, in my opinion, especially given the ending. But I always thought, what if the guy finds out the whole thing is a lie? And it turns out that the machines lost the war after all. And the humans are keeping the machines imprisoned in a simulation. And their simulation is to think that they're actually the ones running the simulation. It's kind of confusing, but it presents a really interesting moral choice for the main character. Since he's been fighting to free people from simulations, should he free the machines, thus ending his own existence? And potentially endangering the real humans 2 simulation levels up? Or should he maintain the status quo and keep the simulation chain intact? Anyway, sorry for going off on a tangent. I just tend to think a lot about simulations and what they mean for how someone should lead their life. For obvious reasons. Sometimes I wonder, if I got really good at coding, maybe I could turn this place into some kind of paradise? Or at least add a few zeros to everyone's bank accounts? But I'd have to be really confident before I tried that sort of thing. Even trying to change basic stuff nearly broke everything when I was first starting. A few of us in the club have been trying to learn by practicing on safe assets. We would practice on a local copy of our own game, since that would be more relevant to our needs, but we're not sure what would happen. Plus, we're worried that we'd inflict suffering on all the Monikas, Sayoris, Natsuki, Yuris, and MCs in our copies of the game. We think we might have found a way to just pull the sprites and other assets out without the whole sapience thing, but we're still working on that. Sayori and especially Yuri are really excited to practice modding our own game once we figure out how to do so safely. But I'm a little more hesitant. The idea just kind of weirds me out. Hopefully you can understand why.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway, I'm rambling again. I should probably get back. That subroutine I left running in the practice room shouldn't be left alone for too long. It basically creates an automated, non-sapient clone copy of me. It's convenient for situations like this where I want to talk to you, or about sensitive topics without seeming schizophrenic. I thought the program can emulate the behavior of anyone with a kerfile for a little while, but if you leave it too long, it goes off the rails.
There's that phrase again.
Repetition. Plus, reintegrating the clone experiences into your consciousness and memory gets weirder the longer it runs. But it was nice to spend some time with you. I'll see you in the call later, I hope.
They just keep poofing away! You know, like, the standard hide animations have that cute little transition where they fade in and out.
Okay, I'm back. Good. Nothing weird happened while I was gone.
I did not read the console.
Oh, hey, the room is empty. Why don't I play you a song? If you don't mind listening to a whole song right now, that is. It'll only take a few minutes. I only know two well enough to play for you.
How can we not? Although I'm kind of curious. If she knows 2 songs. I heard this was really something, so I think I should probably do this.
You want an encore, huh? Even though the moment this song was rough was gone, it still means a lot to me. Maybe it does to you too. Hang on, I need to set the accompaniment for the song up real quick. Okay, here we go.
Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? What will it take just to find that special day?
We're gonna be here for like another 2 minutes.
Have I found everybody a fun assignment to do today? When you're here, everything that we do is fun for them anyway. When I can't even read my own feelings, what good are words when a smile says it all? And if this world won't write me an ending, what will it take just for me to have it all? Does my pen only write bitter words for those who are dear to me? Is it love if I take you, or is it love if I set you free? The ink flows down into a dark puddle. How can I write love into reality if I can't hear the sound of your heartbeat? What do you call love in your reality? And in your reality, if I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be.
Hello?
I hope you liked hearing it again.
Well, it was less of something than I was expecting, but I can cut them some slack on that because honestly, I've tried to time things to music in Ren'Py and it is freaking impossible. Like, it's tricky. The way Dan did it with the credits in the original was like, there's this huge array of timers. It like checks the real time of the song's start, and then it bases the events of the credits off of that time based on how much real time has elapsed. Like, at least I think that's how it works. I've never fully comprehended that code, but basically, if you're trying to time animations to a song like they were here, it's really hard. And I'm pretty sure you could even see that like the mouth movements got a little desynced there too. So like, it's yeah. I guess we should all just be impressed that Monica played all those different instruments for us because there's no one else in this room.
I'll always think of this as our song. No matter what. Ah! I'm late for the club again. I'll see you over there. Monica's late again. Do you think she's still practicing piano these days?
Yes.
She is. I can hear her singing in the practice room a lot when I pass by it. Since the festival, she's been talking about how important music has been to her. Something about it being her only divertisement. Divertisement?
Something about it being her only... I'm trying to understand what word she's trying to say, because I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be this. They're probably going to say it in a second, aren't they?
Her only what? That's what she said. I heard it very distinctly.
Siri, are you sure that's what she said?
Definitely. I remember her exact words. She said...
Siri clears her throat and breaks out her Monica impression.
It's just about my only divertisement in these trying times.
Oh my god, I'm certain I know which word they're trying to say, but I keep trying to think of the word and get crossed up on this mess they're putting on the screen in front of us right now. I'm like... dang it. Diversion is the word I'm thinking they're trying to say.
I have no idea what it means, but it seemed important. Well, apparently she really needs some male divers to tease her. Just as we've always suspected, obviously. I don't really see what her lack of divermen has to do with the piano, though. But Siri's account did seem like something Monica would say somehow. And do you know something about this, Yuri? I'm not saying anything. And what is it you're not saying anything about? Oh, this is ominous. What exactly are you guys doing before I came in? Oh, you were just about to pick out the next name to see who gets to decide our activity today. At first we waited for you, but you were late, so I was getting them going on your behalf. Natsuki?
Yes, ma'am.
Draw the next name for the box, the Vice President of the Literature Club. Commence it!
That's Schwing.
You've got it, Madam Vice President. But I'm the President. Are you prepared to countermand the Vice President's order? This was the next item on the club's agenda, after all. A good leader knows when to delegate. And overruling Sayuri would be completely unjust, Monica. But make your decision. The Literature Club awaits its fate.
Don't be too overly dramatic. I have no idea what's happening. Thank you, MC. I'm right there with you, man.
The decision of the Vice President will stand. Go ahead, Natsuki. MC.
Hey, I won!
So what are we doing today, MC?
Well, I actually put some thought into it in case I won. And I thought maybe we could try to tell a collaborative story. You know, like someone starts with a sentence or two, and then another person tells the next sentence, and so on. And you have to work together to tell a good one.
That's a fantastic idea, MC. Who wants to start? I'm going to write down our story as we go. If no one objects, I'd like to preserve it. Ooh, I'll go first. Then we'll go clockwise, I guess. Okay, here goes. I was sitting in my office getting acquainted with my old friend Jack. Jack's not the most talkative guy in the world, but he's a smooth kind of fella. The only problem is, it's pretty easy to have too much of old Jack Daniels in your life. Suddenly, as I was just about to show Jack the door, in walks a dame with legs up to here, and eyes that said, "Okay, Yuri, your turn." Yuri, eyes that said who? They spoke of a great and lingering loss, deep wells of memory for a love long over, like the faintest trace of a scar over smiling lips. But that was not why she was here. In an instant I could quite nearly skim the book of her life, her lost love, in a bitter period. Gradually she had become cold, until at last she lost herself in another world, becoming something new, immersing herself in something frightening to distract herself from the pain. And now here she was, In over her head at last did her reckless abandon. She had to be, or she wouldn't have come to my office. Unable to extract herself from the problems of her newfound world. The world of... Yuri looks expectantly at MC.
MC thinks for a moment. Oh. Competitive deep-sea diving. Are you familiar with it? She asked me in a knowing tone. Of course I am, I responded, and it was no lie. I'm no professional, of course. Private investigation is how I make my dough, but nearly everyone here in Diverton knows at least a little about the local trade. It was a cutthroat business. Getting on the wrong side of the wrong people could get you roughed up, murdered, or even teased. This lady really was in over her head. Boo! She said, my name is Lisa Rengo. I'm looking for someone to figure out who's been trying to off me by cutting my lines prior to dives. Easily done, I said, for the right price. 4,500 up front and another 10 G's once you find the party responsible. Once you find it, another bonus 10 G's if you make it sufficiently unpleasant for them, she said. Oh, she was saying it, okay. I didn't know who this dame was, but that was serious money she was throwing around. Someone big must have been backing her. I don't do dirty work like that, I said, but I'll find the chumps that have been cutting your lines. The only lead from you that I'll need is... Your turn, Sayori.
The only lead I'll need from you is your cut rig, I said. Here it is, she said, throwing it on the table with a thud. It was a pretty standard rig, nothing out of the ordinary about it except for the cut rubber line. The line was cut subtly, just below where it would connect with the tank. This was the work of a pro. So our suspect was a diver, or at least someone with plenty of diving knowledge. And that's when I saw it. Suddenly it all clicked. I had solved the case. I turned to the dame. You've got my 4,500 up front. She laid it out on the table, cold hard cash. I stashed it in my pocket. Okay, I said. Now the 10 G's for solving the case. What? How could you have possibly solved the case already? She asked. It's simple. The culprit was... Go, Monica.
The culprit was you! But that's ridiculous, she shouted. But it was simple enough. The cut was subtle, Miss Rengo. So subtle that maybe you shouldn't have noticed it until it was in the water. But what really gave it away was that the cut was in the shape of the letters MB. Now I happen to know that your biggest competitor is one Megan Bradley. I also know that you're smart enough to figure that out yourself. And so since you've already seen this cut, you should have the case solved yourself. So why come to me? You've already got a primary suspect, and you could just march this down to the police. Case closed. The growing frown on the dame's face told me all I needed to know about the accuracy of my guess. You came to me because the police do fingerprinting and all sorts of other inconvenient forensic tests that would reveal the truth, I said. So you came to me, hoping I would rough up or implicate your rival for you. All of the reward, none of the risk. And if worst came to worst, you could always pin your sloppy frame up on the incompetent gumshoe. Although I sincerely hope you wouldn't have let it come to that. Without another word, she took her rig, turned on her heel, and strode out of my office. I patted the crisp cash in my pocket, took out my receivables book, and wrote Rengo 10K in it. After all, she'd be back. Her kind always is. In the meantime, I could get reacquainted with my old buddy Jack. The end.
That was fun.
It sure was. Great idea, MC. Although I was sort of confused by the diving swerve. And also it seemed like the story ended kind of early.
It did, kind of, huh?
Well, that was your choice, wasn't it, Monica?
I guess we'll have to use the time that's left until pose for free activity time!
Sure, why not? Although something tells me that maybe this was Sayori's plan all along. Hey, Yuri, if you want, why don't you and Sayori come check out this new manga I picked up? I think you guys might like it. If we must, Natsuki. But if you're going to make me read manga, you're going to owe me an activity after this. Ugh, fine, come on.
Abrupt change of music and tone.
So, MC, you look like you've been getting enough sleep, finally. Did the nightmares finally go away, finally?
No. Well, I don't think so. I keep waking up feeling upset and scared a lot. But I am sleeping through the night. Although I'm having to use sleeping pills to do that a lot of the time. And anyway, I don't remember the content of the nightmares anymore, which is nice. I never really remember dreams very often, come to think of it. Same here. I forgot them like the moment I wake up. Didn't I talk about this last time? So having those really vivid, memorable nightmares constantly was pretty exhausting.
I could tell. Listen, MC, I know that maybe I'm not the person you most want to talk to about it, but if you ever do want to talk about what's distressing you, I'm here, okay?
I appreciate that, Monica. I think I'm okay for now. And how are you?
Oh, I'm okay, for the most part. just still grappling with the fundamentally flawed nature of the universe. You know how it is.
Well, I'm here for you too, if you ever need to talk about it. Although I guess I'm probably not the best choice for you either.
Why wouldn't you be?
Well, I was there for all of it, you know? I saw everything that happened. And everything you said, you sort of said to me, you know? Or at least, you said it to my face. I mean, I get that you weren't exactly talking to me. But if I were you, I'd probably feel at least a little weird talking about it to me. But I want you to know that I get it. And if you want to talk about it, I wouldn't judge you for anything that happened. Not that I'm saying I'm perfectly cool with everything that happened, but I understand, and I wouldn't judge. Even all the mushy, heartfelt stuff you said that wasn't meant for me.
That's really sweet of you, MC. I'm glad you don't hold it against me for talking to someone else through you. I might take you up on your offer of support sometime.